You think size equals power? Think again. Because tonight we're diving into the moments that made the fitness world choke on its protein shake. These aren't set lucky punches. This is timing, fight IQ, and heavyweight power wrapped in what the internet loves to call a dad bod. From shocking upsets to walk-off KOs, this is where aesthetics crash into real combat. Fat guys, strongest bodybuilders. Lights out. Let's run it. 1. The fight between Francois Botha and Jerome Le Banner at K1 Final Elimination 2004 is the perfect reminder that looks don't win fights, skills do. Botha stepped into the ring looking slow, heavy, and completely out of place, next to the chiseled French knockout machine. Le Banner charged forward like a wrecking ball, throwing power shots everyone expected would end the night early. Meanwhile, Botha stayed calm, soaking up the pressure and moving with the quiet confidence of a seasoned world-class boxer. And then the story flipped, just like a classic underdog moment. Botha didn't try to match muscles, he fought with his brain. Sharp jabs, smart positioning, and veteran pacing started breaking Le Banner down round by round.
Moins fulgurante que celle de la deuxième reprise, mais qui au fur et à mesure doit quand même faire mal.
The longer the fight went, the more the powerhouse faded, frustrated that he couldn't put away the out-of-shape guy in front of him. By the time Le Banner couldn't continue, the crowd was in shock. The dad bod underdog had just outworked, outthought, and outlasted one of the most feared strikers in K1 history. 2. Kevin Wolter walked in looking like he just stepped out of a fitness commercial, shredded, tanned, and built like a superhero who drinks protein shakes for breakfast, lunch, and dessert. Across from him stood Drazan Janjanin, the guy nobody picked, rocking the dad bod with a day job look. Fans expected a flex-off. What they got was a reality check. The bell rang, and in true American underdog movie fashion, the script flipped fast. Janjanin didn't bring abs, he brought timing, clean fundamentals, and that blue-collar toughness. While Wolter was still loading his first highlight pose, Janjanin dropped sharp, no-nonsense punches like a man clocking in for work. 40 seconds later, boom, fight over. Influencer offline.
Oh my God!
The out-of-shape guy just turned the bodybuilder into a before and after photo in reverse.
Und damit Sieger dieses Kampfes aus Bosnien-Herzegowina, Drazan, Janjanin.
3. Looks can be deceiving, and the Butterbean vs. Louis Monaco fight proved it in brutal fashion. Monaco walked in, looking like a Greek statue, lean, confident, built for magazine covers. Across the ring stood Butterbean, the 300-pound underdog everyone underestimated. But once the bell rang, it turned into a... He brought raw power, tight fundamentals, and non-stop pressure. In under 2 minutes, crushing right hand. 4. Mark Hunt vs. Sonny Bill Williams looked like a fitness model, wandered into a bar fight with a dad who grills on Sundays. Sonny walked in undefeated, tall, shredded, and built like a protein commercial. Hunt showed up at 48 with the legendary beer-powered engine, looking like he just clocked out of a construction shift.
On paper,
total mismatch. In reality, classic underdog movie. For 3 rounds, Sonny used his reach, speed, and youth, boxing smart while Hunt played the long game like a veteran who's seen every trick in the book. Then came round 4. The moment the fridge six-pack woke up, Hunt started cutting the ring, landing those heavy, disrespectful right hands that don't just hurt, they cancel subscriptions. One monster shot later, Sonny hit the canvas and the crowd lost its mind. The so-called out-of-shape guy had just knocked out the lab-built athlete. 5. Anthony Joshua walked into Madison Square Garden looking like a superhero action figure, while Andy Ruiz Jr. looked like the guy who sells tacos outside the arena. Easy night, right? Wrong. Ruiz brought fast hands, elite timing, and zero fear. After getting dropped, he fired back with combinations so quick, Joshua's perfect physique couldn't save him. Knockdown after knockdown, the underdog flipped the script. By round 7, game over. The out-of-shape replacement just became champion and shocked the world.
KO victory, and now the new unified
6. Here's the thing about heavyweights. Sometimes the scariest man in the ring is the one who looks like he skipped leg day for 10 years straight. Jeronimo dos Santos showed up carved out of stone, chest pumped, arms loaded, already celebrating in his head. Then there was Vyacheslav Datsik, built like a Cold War tank with a beard, a belly, and the energy of a man who solves problems by headbutting them. Nobody picked him. That was the first mistake. The bell rang and Datsik didn't start the fight, he fast-forwarded it. No feeling out process, no Instagram footwork, just a violent left hook thrown with bad intentions and zero respect for physics. 50 seconds later, the sculpted favorite was horizontal. The crowd was losing its mind. And the so-called underdog was walking around like he'd just taken out the trash.
Is Vyacheslav.
7. Rule number 1 in heavyweight kickboxing. If the out-of-shape guy is smiling, run. Daniel Sam walked in, looking like a Marvel character, long, shredded, and ready to headline a fitness expo. Then there was Ismael Lazaar, built like a guy who wins street food contests on the weekend. On paper, this was David versus Goliath. In reality, it was Goliath versus a wrecking ball with snacks in his corner. From the opening bell, Lazaar fought like a man trying to burn off an all-you-can-eat buffet. Constant pressure, short bombs, zero respect for reach. Sam started strong, but you could see the gas tank draining while Lazaar kept marching forward like rent was due. Round 3. Boom. That left hook landed like a canceled gym membership. The sculpted champion hit the floor, and the crowd lost its mind. 8. Fight night gave us a classic visual lie. Bob Sapp showed up looking like he was sponsored by a genetics lab. Biceps with their own zip code, traps touching his ears, the whole action figure package. Standing across from him was Alexandru Lungu, built like a guy who wins eating contests and fixes your car on the weekend. Vegas odds said, massacre. Reality said, plot twist. No dancing, no posing, Lungu fought like a man double parked outside. Compact shots, perfect timing, and that sneaky power that doesn't need a six-pack to be dangerous. Sapp tried to flip the switch into beast mode, but the switch got unplugged. One clean connection, and the giant went from intimidating to horizontal. Crowd stunned. Commentators scrambling. The dad bod technician just speed ran the boss level. 9. If you ever doubted the power of a dad bod, Roy Nelson versus Dylan Kuchler was your wake-up call. Kuchler walked in, looking like a custom-built action figure. Abs, beard, muscles with Wi-Fi signal. Meanwhile, Big Country showed up with the legendary belly, looking like he just finished a barbecue and still had time to knock someone out. Most people thought this was a fitness model versus a guy who fixes your truck. Kuchler came out fast, throwing sharp punches like a personal trainer trying to cancel Roy's buffet membership. For a moment it looked like the aesthetics were winning. But Roy doesn't fight for Instagram. He fights like rent is due. Calm, patient, chin tucked, waiting for that one mistake. Then it happened. That trademark overhand right, delivered with the same energy as a man swatting a fly at a family cookout, landed flush. Lights out.
1 minute 40 seconds.
The sculpted physique hit the canvas while the belly bounced in victory. 10. Forget the weigh-in optics. This was horsepower versus engine control. Kakave rolled in like a walking supplement store, all bulk and bravado, expecting a strength contest. Emelianenko looked like he'd been built for winter. No beach muscles, just that quiet, I've done this before, energy. The bell rings, and suddenly it's not about size, it's about speed limits. Alex starts tagging him with sharp, no-waste shots, like a mechanic tightening bolts. Then one hook. Clean. Immediate system shutdown. The strongman's balance update failed, and the referee hit the off switch. 11. At first glance, this looked like a granite statue versus a guy who just left a food truck festival. Hideki Sekine had the superhero frame, the confidence, the whole main character energy. But the moment the fight started, the script flipped fast. Martinez fought like a man with zero interest in posing, sharp boxing, smart pressure, and those sneaky soccer kicks that turned the giant into a wobbling tower. One clean right hand later, shutdown mode activated. The sculpted favorite hit the canvas, and the crowd realized the truth.
Crowd comes alive, struck down off the balance, hammer fist now, ankle.
12. Melbourne gave us a fight that looked like a gym poster versus a guy who installs air conditioners for a living. Andrew Powerhouse Peck had the bounce, the tan, the explosive kicks, basically a walking highlight package. Mark Hunt showed up shaped like a heavyweight who trusts his hands more than a treadmill. No rush, no flex, just that quiet, someone's about to get hit vibe. Peck started fast, springing around like he had a playlist in his head. Hunt moved once, planted his feet, and fired a right hand that sounded like a car door slamming. Down goes the physique. Peck stood back up, which only activated the Samoan fast-forward button, left hook. Good night, 48 seconds, clock out.
And he's coming again.
Here he goes! Peck goes down!
That's a 2 knockdown. That's it. That's it.
It's over!
The crowd didn't set cheer, they gasped. Because the man built for beach photos just got folded by a walking punchline with nuclear timing.
And ready to defend the title,
If those knockouts just changed the way you look at heavyweights, make sure you're part of the team. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell, and drop your favorite upset in the comments. More jaw-dropping KOs, more real fight stories. Don't test blink, and don't test miss the next one.